So, just give us, for the people who don't know what the film's about, kind of give us a setting. You improvised the whole thing in a way, right?
Yeah, all the dialogue in the movie is improvised. But there was a script. I mean, Neil and his writing partner Terry wrote a story and a script, but then threw out all the lines on the day. So yeah, I didn't learn any lines or anything like that.
Well, that's nice. I guess you were able to have a framework and then just kind of go with it, right?
Yeah, totally. So you sort of come into a scene and Neil was like, okay, there's 3 things that need to happen in this scene. That's typically what would happen. Go in, evict the guy from his shack, discover the computers, whatever the case might be. And then we would do a 6-minute take and he'd say, okay, well, can you do it in a minute? And that was what was normally happening. We would really play and just have a good time and keep throwing stuff at him.
And the premise of the film is?
Well, the premise is that aliens have arrived, and they haven't arrived in North America this time. They've arrived over an African city. And they're not these kind of superior beings that are going to enlighten us, and they're not the beings that are going to kill us. They just seem to sort of be wandering around aimlessly. And they actually, from what we learn about their culture, is that they're the worker bees almost of their culture, and they've lost their hierarchy. So they're really refugees on planet Earth.
And this was set during the time of apartheid then, or?
Well, it's set now, but they arrived not many, 28 years ago. So it's set now. They've been there for a long time. We've tried to sort of integrate them. It hasn't really worked. And I play a character called Vikas Vanamerva, who works for the company that has the contract to manage these guys. And he's a sort of paper-pushing bureaucrat for most of his life, but one of the parts of his job that he hates is having to go and deal with these creatures. But he only has to go like once a month or so.
Now, is it creepy or scary? Because I think, if I don't recall, that Dorothy said she felt like she was throwing up a couple of times. I think that's when she was like really scared.
Yeah,
right?
I was also almost throwing up a couple of times in the actual film while I was making it.
So it has that effect then.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, it does. But I think it's got a lot of different qualities. I mean, that's the interesting thing is I thought it was a boys' movie pretty much when I watched it, but we're finding more and more, women and girls saying they actually did really enjoy the creatures and the kind of the love story element with the character and things like that. So, but it definitely has that edgy, disgusting edge to it as well.
This was the first time you've done something like this, because you've done lots of different aspects of the film business.
Yeah, I normally work behind the scenes and have ended up on camera very, very strangely. I'm still sort of trying to digest where I am and what's going on.
So this is honestly your first acting?
Yeah, I've acted, I mean, as a kid, literally, like I joke about it, like I did plays in school. But yeah, I always did characters. I did voices. That's what Neil saw about me. In my daily life, I would mess around with my friends. I would do prank phone calls. So I guess he kind of, given that it was going to be this heavy improvisational thing,
he thought that was that.
He thought, and he just and he didn't. He was actually just testing out. I was producing something for him, and he said, "Listen, jump on camera, and why don't you just play with this character so long, and we'll get an actor later."
Really? So you've done producing, directing, writing.
I owned a visual effects company, owned a production company.
Was this all in South Africa?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
So now what's next for you then?
Well, I hope to do more acting stuff. I really, really had a great time doing it, and my phone's ringing quite a lot, which is pretty awesome, and reading a bunch of scripts. So see if I can find a character that I really want to do. I want to do character acting.
That's fantastic. Would you do television then as well?
It's all about the character. Yeah, if I found characters, I enjoy voices. I enjoy really getting into the skin of something very different, and so I would, yeah.
And this movie was made for relatively a little amount of money, correct? It was
$30 million.
And are people telling you, do you have a gut feeling about what this first weekend's going to be like, and do you get in your mind into that whole... It's quite an overwhelming thing that's happening right now. We're making the film actually felt, even though I hadn't acted, because it was with Neil, who's directing it, who's my friend, it felt very relaxed and very sort of natural and actually normal. I'd made a movie before as a director. So this part is just very new, promoting the film and the pressure on the fact that it's got to do well at the box office. I mean, we don't have to do that well because the budget was small enough. So everybody's kind of like, well, you're definitely making your money back, so you'll be okay. And again, because you were getting 4 stars out of 4 out of 4. Yeah. I mean, you're getting like great reviews.
Yeah, well, and also even learning that, like they'd come up to us and go,
you got 3 stars, guys. That's great. And Neil and I were like, well, out of what? Like, is it out of 10? I mean, should we be excited? Should we? And then you hear, no, it's 4. Their system's 4. Theirs is 3. You got 2 out of 3. That's good. You got 2.5 out of 3. That's good. So, I'm stunned. I'm amazed. I mean, the critics. I would have expected at least some people to go, I don't get this movie or this character at all.
But people are
it's terrible. But somehow virtually everybody seems to like it.
I would love to talk to you more, but they're ready to rush you off to your interview. So it was nice to meet you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.